For a while, Syria knew peace. Not the loud kind that comes with announcements and parades, but the quiet kind, the kind that slips in like sunrise, slow, golden, and almost unbelievable after so much darkness. The guns had quieted. The markets opened again. Children chased one another through dust that no longer carried fear. And in a small valley near the missionary base, love and faith found room to breathe again. So lean in, because episode 4 is not just a love story. It's the calm before the test, the warmth before the storm, and the reminder that faith often blooms best in ordinary days. And before we continue, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode of the story behind the glory. Now, let's return to the valley, where love learned to breathe again. Inside the mission compound, Pastor David Johnson prepared for departure. His hands, once steady on the pulpit, trembled slightly as he packed his Bible, journals, and a worn notebook filled with prayer requests from villagers whose names he had learned like family. 3 years of dust, miracles, tears, and midnight prayers. The mission had served its purpose, and now it was time to return home. Across the room, Mrs. Grace Johnson folded garments into a small suitcase, but every few seconds she paused, her eyes drifting toward her daughter. Gloria stood near the window, rocking her baby boy gently. Daniel Matthews, a name that sounded like a bridge, 2 worlds held together in one tiny heartbeat. The baby cooed softly, fingers curling around Gloria's necklace as if it belonged to him too. Pastor David turned toward Ethan. His face carried the weight of a father who had watched a boy become a man. "Son," he said, placing a firm hand on Ethan's shoulder, "you have become our family's covering in this land. Keep her safe. And when this little one grows, tell him how his parents shined God's light in the dark." Ethan swallowed, nodded once, and answered with a voice that didn't shake. "I will, sir, with my life." Mrs. Grace pulled Gloria into a long embrace, one of those hugs that tries to hold time still. "You are strong, my daughter," she whispered, "but strength doesn't mean you can't cry. When you miss us, talk to God. He hears faster than phones do." They laughed through tears, because sometimes laughter is the only way to survive a goodbye. A few days later, the road that once brought the Johnsons into Syria now carried them out. A small missionary aircraft waited in the open field, its propellers still, as if even the machine understood the sacred weight of this moment. Villagers gathered in colorful clothes, holding handmade banners that read, "Shukran," thank you. Some carried fruit, some carried flowers, some carried nothing at all but grateful hearts. Gloria walked slowly, Daniel on her hip. Mrs. Grace reached out and touched Daniel's cheek, softly, as if memorizing him. Gloria hugged them both again, tight, long. Ethan stood nearby, quiet, respectful, jaw clenched with the kind of emotion a soldier tries not to show. He saluted Pastor David. Pastor David returned it, but his smile trembled and his eyes shone. As the plane finally lifted, Gloria stood in the red dust, waving until her arm ached, until the aircraft became a tiny dot swallowed by sunlight. Sometimes the hardest mission is not the one that takes you far, but the one that leaves you behind. Life continued in their quiet corner of Syria. Ethan's one-room studio, once just a place to sleep between duties, had become a home. Everything modest, yet overflowing with meaning. Gloria learned to make joy out of ordinary things: fresh bread, warm tea, the sound of Daniel laughing in the mornings. She taught at the local primary school. Her voice became a melody the children followed like a song. They loved the way she pronounced their names with care, like every child mattered to heaven. Ethan's work at the base grew lighter as peace settled. Less combat readiness, more rebuilding duty. And the villagers watched him and said, "This soldier, he builds more than structures. He builds trust." At dusk, they walked hand in hand by the river, Daniel tucked in a sling across Ethan's chest, his tiny head resting against his father like he was made for that spot. Ethan told stories of Kelowna, fishing with his father, skating on frozen lakes, mountains dressed in white. Gloria listened with wide eyes, imagining snow for the first time, trying to picture a world where cold felt safe. They smiled because they weren't just dreaming of places, they were dreaming of a future. They dreamed out loud, as if speaking peace could make it stay. The small church was packed. Villagers arrived early, some carrying fruit, others carrying little handmade gifts. Women in bright fabrics, men with kind eyes. Children squeezed together in rows, whispering and giggling. It was the day of Daniel's dedication to God. Gloria stood at the front with Daniel dressed in white. Ethan stood beside her, upright, proud, but softened by fatherhood. Pastor Ibrahim, the local Syrian pastor, stepped forward with a gentle smile. He lifted Daniel carefully, holding him high, as if offering the child to heaven. His voice filled the clay walls. May this one grow to be a bridge between nations, and may his parents' faith never waver. The congregation answered with a thunderous Amen. In the evenings, Gloria sat by the window and wrote letters to her parents in Texas. Her pen moved slowly, carefully, like every word carried a piece of her heart across the ocean. Dear Mommy, Daniel has started saying, Daddy. Ethan can't stop smiling. The villagers call him their little miracle. She paused sometimes, listening, because even in peace, you could still hear distant reminders. Not gunfire, just rumors, far-off tension, faint echoes of instability like thunder beyond the horizon. Sometimes, she wrote, I still hear the war drums far away, but here in our valley, the air feels full of grace. She sealed the letter in readiness for postage. Her life was full, her heart was content. But somewhere deep inside, she knew peace was a gift, not a guarantee. One morning, as Ethan prepared to leave for base, Gloria took his hand. Her eyes were calm, but glowing. Ethan, she whispered, guiding his palm to her belly. He frowned slightly, confused, until he felt it. Not a kick, not yet, just the faintest flutter, like a secret being breathed into existence. His eyes widened. Are you serious? Gloria nodded, smiling shyly. 7 weeks now. Doctor says I'm healthy. Ethan exhaled, almost like he had been holding his breath for years. Then he pulled her into an embrace, careful, protective, lifting her just slightly off the ground as he laughed. When love becomes life, heaven celebrates quietly. That evening, the village celebrated as if the baby inside Gloria was already part of their community. Women sang Arabic hymns, their voices rising into the night like prayer wrapped in music. Children danced in circles, clapping and laughing until their cheeks hurt. Gloria stood among them, radiant, her laughter bright, her hands resting unconsciously on her belly. Ethan watched from a distance, his wife glowing under lantern light, her joy like a song he never wanted to end. Mrs. Zara, the elderly villager with eyes full of history, took Gloria's hands. You have brought light to this valley, daughter, she said. Even the stars smile when you laugh. Gloria's eyes shimmered, not with pride, but gratitude, because she understood something now. This place that once felt like foreign soil had become home. Later that night, when the laughter faded and the village finally slept, Ethan sat outside their home under the moonlight. He cleaned his rifle, slowly, methodical, careful, more from discipline than desire. His eyes lifted to the the same stars that hung over Kelowna, the same stars that watched over Texas. He whispered, barely audible, Lord, let me see my children grow. Let this peace last. Moon bright and unblinking, stars scattered like promises. But peace, like morning dew, does not always last till noon. Weeks later, Gloria, now 7 months pregnant, stood outside as Ethan climbed onto a departing truck. The soldiers were cheerful, shouting goodbyes, tossing jokes into the air like they wanted to keep fear away with laughter. Ethan turned back one last time. His smile was warm, but his eyes carried something quieter. He touched his heart and mouthed the words, "Forever yours." Gloria smiled back, placing her hand over the golden pendant around her neck, the one that had become her private comfort. The truck rolled forward, slowly, then faster. Dust rose behind it like a thin veil, soft, fading, almost beautiful. Gloria kept waving until the vehicle became a small shape in the distance. She didn't know that some goodbyes are practiced for deeper ones, that some calm mornings are only borrowed peace, that the same sky that holds sunlight can also gather storms. But every story of faith has its storm, and every heart that loves deeply must one day be tested by the wind. So as this episode closes, remember this: peace is a gift, but love is a covenant. And what is rooted in God may bend in the storm, but it will not break. If episode 4 touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications, because the next episode will take us into the season where faith is no longer gentle, it becomes a fight. Until then, hold tight to love, hold tighter to God, and meet me in the next chapter of The Story Behind the Glory.